today, you're going to learn how to automate everything using Bash. So I've been a script kiddie for about 10 years now. I've learned a thing or two. And I have to say that before that, I used to just point and click. And then I learned how to leverage Bash to do things automatically. I think you call that automation. Anyway, let's get into it. If you're watching this video, chances are you already know a few basic commands like the ls command, cd command. And if you don't, I don't know, I feel sorry for you. But here we go. We'll just kind of go over some things really quick. So you see this work.back. What if I wanted to make that a normal file again, not a backup? So what I could do is I could just simply just do it like this. Use the mv command, right? If I wanted to make a file test.lua, I could do it just like this. And you can see it's right here, right? And then, I'll go ahead and remove this test.lua. And if I wanted to make dev, so that will make a file called dev, and you'll be able to see that right here. There are a lot of things that you could leverage. So basically, say we know the ls command, right? This lists everything. So we could use an option. So we could say, an option, which we could say list all the files that end with PNG. And here you would have this right here. This is really useful when you want to clean like your files. You want to clean them up. This makes things kind of fast, right? Then you could come into here to videos, right? You could probably do the same thing, right? I have a lot of MP4s in this. So it lists all the MP4s. And if I wanted to even do even more, I could follow it by a grep command, and I could use further options to leverage my ability. Maybe I want to show the first 10 files in this directory, right? Or the last 10 or the middle 10 or something. I would be able to do it using the grep command, and it would be very easy for me to do. So you have a pretty good idea of what is possible when you actually leverage Bash to work for you. So now I am going to go to my second brain. So if you haven't seen my video on my NeoVim setup with my second brain, I suggest you check it out because I actually think it was one of my better videos and I really enjoyed making that video. And I think a lot of people who are interested would really benefit from it. So let's look at the man page for bat. Bat is just like cat, except it's written in Rust. So there's like this whole Rust thing going on. Like it's become a meme lately. And so here we go. Bat options file. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to explain what some of this means here pretty soon. So like say man a neo vim or actually how about multiple NeoVim distros, right? This is going to show, oh, sorry, not man, bat. So we're going to have bat. Wow, that was a little embarrassing. So now it just shows like everything. So let's show it without the, the tag. This is just how it comes out normally. And then do a lot of other things. So like, for example, you'll see like this right here is a highlight. You could do 30 to 40. And you'll come down here to 30 to 40 and it's highlighted. There's a lot of things you could do with bat, but it's right here, man, bat. And I will say you could do something like man alacrity. It has some information about the terminal alacrity. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into like the meat of this. Okay, so I think a basic understanding of how man pages work would probably be the most useful here. So that's what I'm going to do right now. And you'll notice that every man page has a number. If you go right here, it kind of talks about it right here, man. So let's do a man of the man page. And the number right here tells you what it is. So, for example, executable programs or shell commands like ls, that's here. System calls like make dir, that'd be right here. Library calls and functions. So these are like if you have any programming experience, this is what we would call a keyword. A bash keyword. Special files, usually found in like dev or something. Yeah. Okay, that's 4. 5 file formats and conventions like password, the Etsy password, stuff like that. 6 is games. 7 miscellaneous, including macro packages and conventions, man graph, man pages, that sort of thing. And then system administration commands, usually only for root. So if you use any commands with root, it would be number 8. And of course, kernel routines and that sort of thing. Those are non-standard and things that you'll probably not be using a whole lot of. You have a lot of ways to use the man page and that sort of thing, but I really want to kind of get into the meat of the bone. So like if said man ls, you see the number is right here at the upper left-hand corner. And in this is probably where you're going to spend the most of your time with the first option right here. You might have like a certain use case where you're using like a certain library or something like that. For sure, you would probably, start using like the third option. But this is where you're going to spend most of your time. So let's learn how to use it. The first one is the ls command. So let's go over this because I actually think this actually encapsulates how to use man pages right here, especially this synopsis. This basically tells you exactly how the man page is supposed to be used. ls option, so all of these options, all these flags right here, followed by 3 dots. Do you know what those 3 dots mean? It means like multiple. So you could have multiple options, right? Then you have file. So whatever file you want to list. And have multiple. So you could have multiple files. So you have multiple options and multiple files with the ls directory. So let's do the option here. So I disabled exa from this, but when I just do a simple ls, you can see all the files in my my home directory are listed, and except for what? Yeah. Now, if you remember, man, ls, you remember that you have this right here. So you could have all right here, right? You could list all the directories as well. So here's a couple. You have this one right here. And this one, I think actually this is the one we normally use. Okay. So we have a few to try. ls, ls, all. Those are all the files. Or I think capital A is almost all. I don't really know the difference. To do that. And that one doesn't really work the way I'd like. This this actually lists all of the files. Okay. Now, a lot of times you'll find that people will do something like list, like at color equals always. Now you have coloring. Now the color instances, you're seeing the dot files. You're seeing which one is an actual file and which one is a document. And this is very useful, right? Remember, you can use more than one file, right? So let's do that. And so if you scroll up, you can see more than one file. And that's what that means, right? And there are a lot of others, like there's commands. So there's options, there's files, commands, and a few others in your man pages. But if you know how to leverage just a simple man page, you can go far in scripting and automating tasks. All right, so now we want to do some system calls, right? That's the second one. So you have man open, that's number 2. If you wanted to do like man to make dir, you have and you have to actually specify 2 with like make dir, remove dir, and a few other commands. This is kind of the way it works. Also, you could do like library functions, right? Like could do man3 print f, and you get like how to use it and the whole 9 yards. And this is very useful for scripting and that sort of thing. And there are ways to actually make this color coordinated so that you can get an idea of what's a string, what's a function, and that sort of thing, and be able to write really good bash scripts that way. Then we have man tty. Ooh, hold on. Let's go man or tty. And so basically this tells you how to use tty's basically and that sort of thing and how to use them. This would be useful for some scripting, but not really. At least I don't think so. So you could do something like man fstab. And this is 5. This is something that didn't require you to actually indicate that this was a file format or convention. And it basically tells you if you've ever installed Arch Linux or Gentoo, you're definitely going to use fstab or file system table. And there's a few others. I don't know about the games and screensavers. I don't care about those. Miscellaneous. So this is usually like the conventions, protocols, and stuff. This is usually used for Unix, as far as I understand. Man, let's see if I can do something here. Oh, okay. So we have some things here. So I don't know if that. Oh, kill. Okay, process group, kill. Okay, so I guess I've used a few of these without even actually realizing it. I probably should read up on this. This is kind of interesting. I've actually used all of these in shell scripting. I didn't realize that's where this came from. Wow. I got this from a book actually. So very interesting. I didn't realize that. You learn something new every day. Man, IP tables. Okay, so basically you learn IP tables, and this is basically like sysadmin stuff. This is stuff that you are going to do in root most of the time, and then like kernel routines. Let's see about this one. Man, 9 spin Okay, so I just tried a bunch of things to basically look at my kernel routines. I thought I had a couple. I guess I don't. Okay, no problem. All right, so let's write our first script. Okay, so let's do echo hello world, and that should just print that out, right? So what if I wanted to use a pipe? So like I'm going to use the translate, and I'm going to do A through Z, and then I'm going to do A through Z. Now, oh, sorry. That's going to make everything uppercase, basically. All right. So that's basically how that works. So basically, if you see here, you can see that this just prints out the string right here, right? But when you pipe it, it will pipe it into this translate command and it'll make everything all uppercase. So you can see that it just basically outputs this into here, and then this will basically convert it into all uppercase. That's pretty much how it works. It's pretty easy. So let's write a useful script. So I just basically want to. So let's go ahead and for right. Well, let's do it. Let's PDF. And then we wait. Hold on, and then we are going to CMX, PDF. So basically, I'm making it executable. I have aliases for all of this. And then, actually, I think that will be good enough for right now. And now this is executable. Now, if I said color always, you would see that it was a different color, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So, how do you write a bash script? Okay. So basically, there's a way to do this. So, say I wanted to like find, what was in my PDF, and I wanted to basically have just list everything that is a directory. You can see right here, I have all of my directories, right? This is actually kind of useful, right? So, like, what I could do is I could actually pipe that into D menu, right? Now you can see that this isn't very useful right here as it is. Well, I mean, it's not terrible, but you could probably make it better. So how would we make it better? Well, let's take a look at D menu. All right. So you see a lot of different options. You could put it at the bottom of the screen. So you could say, so if we said, hold on. So if I said D menu V, it would go to the bottom of the screen, right? Is that useful? Not really, but now you kind of are getting an idea of how to use it. All right. Case insensitivity, lines. Now this lists it vertically, so that would probably be useful. Prompt. So basically, it gives you something to the left of the input field. This is very useful. You can change like the color of the font. You can change the background color. There's a lot of things you can change with D menu and a lot of other things. So, this is interesting. So, why don't I try something like, I don't know, I could list the 20 like that. So it lists 20 of them at a time. They're all there though. If I scroll down, it just continues scrolling. Very good. All right. And if I choose it, nothing's going to happen because I haven't told it to do anything. But I could say, hey, I want a case and sensitivity. I want a prompt on the left side, and I want you to select option. Now, you see right up here, you see it says select option. It has a bunch of options. All right. Now we're kind of getting somewhere, right? So basically, the first thing I want to do is change the directory to PDF. Then I want to find name PDF. So basically the semicolon is do this and then this. Another way you could do it is this. It's usually better for convention to use a semicolon because this actually uses a little bit more memory. So when you're doing like server work and stuff, I've heard that this is the better convention. So, and there you are. You have all of the files that end in PDF in one string. Okay, good. All right. And so now if I said B menu, you can see like there's a whole bunch of PDFs here. All right. So remember this. You can choose a PDF and there'd be a bunch of them right here. So like if I said like I could choose that one, like there's nothing it's going to do because I haven't told it to do anything. But now you have a really good way of actually forming a script. We have the two lines written out. So let's go ahead and do that. All right. Okay, so of course we have to do the shebang. I don't know why that's not. Oh, I know. Hold on. Okay, so move PDF dot. I just want the completion. Let's do that. Now we already have this. So now, you remember that first command? Why don't we put that to a variable, right? And so this is how you would do that. So you remember this command right here, find PDF, type D, and let's do this D menu. And here we There we are. I think everything looks good to me. And then we are going to cd into that dir. Now, whenever you call that function, you have to use a $sign. And then we're going to go PDF equals find name PDF dmenu select PDF. And then you could do something like, let's use Zathura. And we would go, I don't know why this has to be like this, but it has to actually look in the dir configuration to open it in Zathura. I was really perplexed by that when I was writing this script, but this is basically how it works. So now let's see if it works. Let's see here. There you are. You've written your second script. let's write another small script. So we could, uh, we could, we could open all of our running processes, and you can see them right here. So maybe I could do something like grep Google. Now I have something like that. And then I could do something like awk, which is awk is totally awesome, by the way. If you guys don't know, you just don't know. Like, seriously, awk is really cool. I could do something like I could print certain columns. Whoops. I could just kind of go through. There's my, okay. That's right. All right. So I could do something like 4, 7, 9. I could print that in a nice, even, like print those columns only or something like this. And so there are a lot of ways to kind of leverage your scripting. And if you understand like this concept, if you take a look here, you'll see like I'm using so many gigabytes uh, of my hard disk. So I have less than 100 gigabytes left. Well, this shows me that right here. This is how much RAM I'm using and that sort of thing. And so I basically just used basic scripting to output this in real time. And then I just set the interval of how often I wanted it to be checked. The last thing I wanted to show you, and I think is really important, is you could do something like install cronjobs. So let's install cronny. Ooh, sorry. I knew it was, I was like, whoa. Okay, so I have cronny installed. I think cronjobs use, if I'm not mistaken. Come on. I can't remember if that is. I have some stuff I gotta do in here as well. Might make. Okay, cron D. That's what I was looking for. Yes, that's enabled. All right, so let's see, update sh, and let's see here. Ah! All right, so yeah. So I'm basically going to show you how to do this. So we are going to go cron tab E. So let's see here, 0, 0. So at midnight every day, I'm basically going to run this command, and all I have to do is save it, and it basically said that it installed a new cron tab. So it worked. So if I said cron tab L, there is a a cron job. And so basically every day at midnight, it's going to basically run the script. Pretty simple. And I'm always on my computer at midnight, so I think that's a pretty good time. And there you go. It is so easy to run a cron tab. So if you wanted to automate a bunch of tasks, you could set up cron tabs for that. And if you want me to elaborate on cron tabs, well, I'd be happy to do so, but it's a little out of the scope of this video. Just some common automated tasks, like you could do text processing and parsing, kind of like what we did. In some of these instances, you could basically, just manipulate the text or parse the text. This is what we do as programmers, like if you program in Python or whatever. A lot of times we're parsing text, right? Automating downloads, automatic backups. You could do system monitoring, renaming multiple files, cleaning up old files, system updates. So many things you could do. So this is a pretty good way of handling a lot of these issues and just basically, not doing the point and click for every little thing. Now you can save a lot of time just automating what you don't like to do. And if you learn a little bit of programming, there is so much more that you can do. And this is kind of what we do. Like, for example, I once saw someone, he wanted to rent a place. He didn't have a whole lot of time to be fussing around with things. And so what did he do? He used the API for Craigslist, and he basically emailed himself all of the rentals in a certain area, and he just kind of scrolled through them and found the ones that he wanted. And I think he had like a parameter that he used. So he used like a filter, like, on price or whatever it was. I can't even remember now. But the fact of the matter is, just because he knew a little bit of programming, he automated his life a little bit. And it took him literally 3 minutes to write that script. And every day they were emailing him entries from that Craigslist. And he found a small rental in a small town and, found something that he was happy with. And these are some of the things that you can do in order to just kind of make your life easier. Now, there is a learning curve to all of this for sure, but in the long run, you're going to save yourself infinitely more time than if you were just to, not learn anything and just kind of go along with, the crowd and point and click. And, that's all always boring. And if you like this video, be sure to check out my last video on how I installed multiple NeoVim distros and how I use them simultaneously. And you could binge watch my material if you'd like, but certainly not necessary. And I don't know if you really want to do that anyway. So anyway, peace, guys.